checking out this episode of Raised on the Radio. I am one half of this show. I am Colt Brocado, Patrick Blair in Zoomland as usual, recording on a Thursday night instead of a Sunday morning. So that's a little, got me a little off, but I've got me a good little old fashioned sitting here, which I'm pretty excited about.
How many of those have you had? Because today's Wednesday, homie.
I haven't had one sip yet.
Today's Wednesday.
Today is Wednesday, but it's in the evening. This was morning.
It's not Thursday. You said Thursday. It's not Thursday.
Oh, okay. Maybe I had more than I'm letting on then.
But cheers. Vodka, cream soda.
Oh, what the hell? You're an ass.
What?
You, sir, are an ass.
What did I do? I didn't say it was Thursday. I just
No, but you were trying to act like I was an alcoholic for drinking on a Wednesday night. Or is this just because
how drunk are you that you thought it was Thursday and not Wednesday?
Okay. Well, to start off the show, I have a question for you because I know you've been in this situation before. Okay. Is there anything, maybe you had a different scenario than I did, but is there anything more heartbreaking than to watch your kid get shots? Does your kid do well with shots?
No.
Dude, it kills me.
They'll be okay.
I know, but it's rough. Like, because it's a cry that you never see them cry.
It's the shake. It's the everything trembles. Yeah.
And it's like the fact that like you watch the needle like go in their leg and they don't realize what's happening yet. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh crap, there it is. And then just this meltdown.
The delayed reaction. Yeah. They'll get better at it. You'll be fine.
Oh yeah.
Stop worrying about him. He's a tough guy.
Yeah, well, I hope so. He's gonna have to be.
You hope he's he's got to chop wood and stuff.
Yeah. Well, I'll probably have to bring him up to your streets. He'll toughen up real quick up there, right?
Of course. My hood. He'll walk around here and not be ready for shit to go down. Yeah, he'll be fine.
Yeah.
It's good for him. Yeah, but I know what you mean. I'm worse with the yesterday my son, he had his water thing in his hand and he was chugging it, dude. He was sprinting and he slipped on a blanket, water, maybe a combination of both. And he just went like his leg gave out. And like, this is an injury, like grown men, this is a torn ACL. Like, it's just, his leg went back and away. I'm like, that had to hurt, but he's a year and a half old. So he doesn't know how to like break his fall really well yet. So, I mean, just face first, just smack. And I mean, he looked up at me and I was like, oh, dude, you're all right. Like, that's what you do. And he looked up at me and he was like, I don't feel like, you could tell his brain's going, I don't feel all right though. I was like, all right. He just started screaming at me. I was like, nah, dude, it's fine. He came running up to me for a hug and I'm like, dude, you're fine. But it was brutal. He has a chipped tooth because he's fallen like that before.
Oh my God, really?
One of his front two teeth is chipped because of that. And that was like the first two teeth he had. Then he chipped one of them. So he's going to lose them anyway. It's fine. Yeah. Start giving him Pepsi now.
Yeah, there you go.
Mountain Dew.
Just let him play hockey.
Yeah, he's already ready. He looks like a hockey player.
There you go. Yeah.
I doubt his mother will let him play hockey. We had this conversation. She's like, he's not playing football, by the way, because he watches football with me and he like grunts when guys get tackled. And I was like, well, what about hockey? She's like, I don't know. We'll see. I'm like, all right, well, no, we won't. I'll see. Don't worry about it.
But see, I'm thinking about the things that you watch with him, and it's got to be mainly football and MMA.
He watches a lot of both, dude. MMA.
But I can't see you letting him do MMA even if he wanted to. Maybe like some jujitsu or something, or something like that. But I don't think I could ever see you letting him fight somebody.
I mean, when he turns 18, do what the hell you want. So if 18, he comes around, he's like, Dad, I'm gonna fight. Okay, have fun. Hopefully you're better at it than I am.
Well, I know you have friends that personally fight as well. Have you been to their fights personally? Any of your friends? You have? Yeah. Is it like an extremely nerve-wracking thing for you? For me, it was.
Nah, yeah, I mean, I guess a little bit. It depends on who it is. I mean, you met my one buddy that fight. He doesn't fight anymore. He trains people now. And
Oh,
I
okay.
actually went to one of their events recently. Um, and he was ringside for a couple of guys who were boxing. And it's kind of weird, man. I felt bad for him as a coach, more so. I don't know. You could just tell that well, here's why. You can tell that he cares and he really wants these guys and girls to do well.
Hmm.
Um, and when they don't, or just when they can't, you could tell that he cares. Well, that's kind of like a dad-like feeling. Like he doesn't have kids, so these fighters are, in a way,
Right.
his kids. I mean, I think that's how he treats it. So I'm guessing that's how I'm just the look of like the dejected look he has on his face when somebody loses or somebody's getting beat up is the way I'm going to feel when my kids, if he plays sports, if he's not good or losing or fails or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if he's going to fight. He probably won't fight. He's not going to have I mean, I would like him to like train in a way just to better defend himself, because to be honest with you, it's 2021, man. You don't know who knows what these days. When I was a teenager, there was no one in Missouri that knew jujitsu. You wouldn't go to a house party and there'd be a fight and have to worry about somebody throwing up guard and putting you in a triangle or getting
Yeah.
you in an armbar. You just wouldn't.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a big guy literally just pick me up and slam me, but that's because he was like 6'5", 230. And I was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Believe me, I didn't try to fight a guy that size. So like maybe like you said, like jujitsu would be cool. I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe some karate.
No.
No. Okay.
I want him to play real sports if he's gonna. No.
Yikes.
Sorry.
You're like insulting Wonder Boy right now.
Can I ask you something?
I'm listening.
How much money do you think Wonder Boy has made in his lifetime from karate or taekwondo?
That specifically, like just doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like a major portion of his MMA training. Or like his
I'm
background.
gonna ask you again. How much money do you think he's made from competing in karate or taekwondo?
Okay, probably not that much.
Correct.
But would he be where he is if he didn't have that background or that training?
It's very possible. I think he's naturally an athletic and gifted person.
Okay.
So I think if he had just started training MMA, I think he'd be okay. Now, I know I'm pissing off a shit ton of people by saying a lot of this, but no, my kid's not going to do karate. If that's the case, I'd rather him just do jujitsu. I think there's, if some shit ever popped off on the street, I'd much rather him know how to strangle somebody than how to kick somebody for points. And not to really hurt them. Doesn't really mean anything to me. And again, I'm insulting a ton of people. I apologize, but
you are.
I like karate. I like it's fun to like watch. It's like interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's very like, dude, Bloodsport's one of my favorite movies of all time. Okay, but Jean-Claude Van Damme, he was a martial artist, but he knew how to kick nice. Like he looked pretty when he kicked because he came from the ballet and he learned, but he didn't, there's an argument that he competed. I've seen like grainy YouTube videos of him at like maybe a taekwondo tournament and maybe kicking someone in the face, but I don't know. Anyway, either way, what I'm saying is I have an appreciation for it. I liked it as a kid as well, but yeah, no, he's not going to do that. I'd much rather him play something more lucrative.
You can just start him out boxing young. He can be like a Jake Paul when he grows up.
I fucking hate you. I hate everything about you. I hate the show. I don't like podcasting.
I had to bring that up as a segue into this Jake Paul and Tyron Woodley 2 that's apparently going to happen that I will not pay for. And I am intrigued a little bit because of the extra $500,000 that's on the line that Tyron Woodley will get if he does knock him out.
You care about that, huh?
I didn't say I care about it, but it intrigues me a little more.
Tell me
Not enough to buy it because it's Tyron and I like Tyron. And I hope that I really just want to see Jake Paul get his face just demolished anyways. And I think there was a few signs in that last boxing match where Woodley was very close.
To what?
To knocking him out.
One time.
Okay.
One time. And that's all. And that's what he's going to need this time around. That's what he's going to hope for. But I'm worried about him.
You are worried about him?
A little bit.
Why?
I mean, he didn't look good in the last fight. He landed a big Tyron Woodley right hand that, to be honest with you, if Jake had done his homework, he would have seen coming from a mile away. Tyron loads up on that right hand the same way. He's been doing it his entire fighting career.
Right. But the other question I have is that, so Woodley was arguably the first, real person who's really trained boxing as well that Jake Paul fought.
Okay.
So, my question is, did Tyron Woodley, did he 100% put all his effort into that match? Or does he have a different mindset going into this one?
Are you asking if Tyron Woodley did?
Yes.
I'm not going to talk about effort. I'm going to talk about what I saw. He fought like Tyron Woodley fights. He waited for the one big shot. He wasn't the aggressor. And to be honest with you, I hate saying it. This all comes out of love because I am a Tyron Woodley fan. Much respect, but he got pushed around like he had in his last 5 MMA fights. He got pushed around. Now, did he get beat up? No, he didn't get beat up. But I'm worried about him on this one. I'm worried that he might get beat up, or I'm worried that he might get TKO'd.
Wow.
I hate saying it.
That's crazy.
Well, look, dude, there comes a point in time in every person's life when you're just too old to compete at the sport you compete in against a person who is significantly younger than you. You know? And I'm just talking about physical prowess, physical, whatever it is. Tyron's a beast. He wasn't out of shape in that last fight by any means.
Right.
He was definitely in shape. But the fact of the matter is, man, you cannot beat the clock. Can't.
Right.
So now we've had another year go by, right? He's taking this on 2 weeks' notice because it was supposed to be Tommy Fury. I'm worried about him. And I hate saying that. And my heart will break if he loses by knockout to that goon.
Just him losing again would. No, man. Or wait, no.
Jake Paul has everything to lose in this fight. Tyron doesn't have anything to lose.
You don't think so?
Nah. Because at this point, everybody knows that he's in it just for the payday. Everybody knows that he's in it just for the hopes that he can please all of the people that want to see this guy get knocked out. No one thinks that Tyron wants to be a legitimate professional boxer. No one thinks that. No one's looking at this like this could be a new version of Tyron Woodley. This is a new legacy. It's not that.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that in the first fight. So it's really just about the spectacle and feeding into what this guy, Jake Paul, creates via the hype machine. And that's it. And good for Tyron. Get paid. Get paid, man. Take care of your kids. Fine.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to watch it. But if he wins, you best fucking believe I'm going to be talking shit. You best believe it.
And then when Woodley hears this podcast, he's going to be like, that motherfucker.
It's fine.
Just bad-mouthed me all the way up to it. Now he wants to take my glory. Talk about me in a good way when he was bad-mouthing me.
That one time I thought I was going to wrestle him by mistake, I was talking mad shit in my own head, silently to no one else.
While you were trembling?
Yeah, dude. I was so fucking scared, dude. It's like, there's no way. But yeah, it is what it is, man. At this point, here's the thing. I was more excited. I was kind of talking myself into buying the Jake Paul Tommy Fury fight. That was more interesting to me. But here we are. Now I'm not interested. I mean, I'll put it to you like this. I was going to wait until the day of and see how all the other sports transpired throughout the day, just to see how sort of worn out I was, or like, all right, do I still have enough to like watch this? I was going to wait until then and then possibly buy it. But yeah, I don't want to watch Tyron's fight against Jake Paul again. I don't. I hate saying that. I'd rather watch Tyron go back to MMA and fight that fight with the sheer chance that he could knock out. Like, what if it, like, seriously, what would you be more interested in? Nick Diaz and Tyron Woodley, or Tyron Woodley and Jake Paul? The fact that it's taking you this long to think about makes me angry.
I don't know who I'm interested in Nate Diaz fighting. That's really the reason why
Nick or Nate? I said Nick.
There. Oh, you said Nick. Okay, sorry. Okay. Yeah, I'd like to see that.
Why not? Right?
Yeah.
Why not? Because at the end of the day, if Tyron does this whole thing where he just waits back and wants to counter, Nick's going to be a jackass, and it's at least going to be entertaining. You know?
Yeah.
Because we've seen that before. But
did you see the Nick Diaz and Robbie Lawler fight? Did you watch that?
Yeah.
Was it good? I didn't even get to see it.
Yeah, it was a good fight.
It was awesome.
And I mean, the thing about that was, and I thought I'd said this to you, but maybe I didn't. Now that you're asking about it, but I said to a couple of my MMA boxing buddies, and I said, I think we can put an end to all this bullshit that we hear online from certain people about how Nick Diaz is always in shape, because he wasn't in shape. Like, he does triathlons. Like, man, he ain't been doing triathlons the last few years. Homeboy's been eating burritos and chilling. So we can put an end to that now.
So what you're saying is him and DC are hanging out a lot.
Sure.
Because DC gets bigger every single time he commentates.
Yeah, but I think it's there's no shame in it either, though. I think he's just embraced his fatness, and I think he's just like, I'm gonna be a fat guy.
He deserves it now, I guess, right?
Do what you do. But I don't know if he ever really tried hard to not be fat. He cut down to 205.
Right. I mean, I guess he didn't have. If he didn't have to, why? I guess, right?
Well, he was still a chubby 205. What would DC have been if he had been like lean boy DC, to the point where I could cut down to 185? What would he have been then?
I don't know.
See, you say that, but have you ever seen his wrestling footage when he was slimmed down DC? And dude, I mean, the dude's an athlete. And I mean, you look at like some of his fights where he had to use his athletic ability to win. Imagine if he wasn't carrying around all that weight.
Right. Natural
athlete, natural ass kicker, like, I don't know, something to think about. I mean, it's something
we're talking. So we're talking 185. We talk a slim DC against Kamaru Usman.
And Kamaru goes.
Wait, that's 170.
Yeah, Kamaru's 170.
Yeah. Okay. So
slim DC versus Izzy.
Okay. Yeah.
That's a motherfucking fight.
Yeah.
I'm interested in that, but we're never going to see it. You know what we will see if he wins one more fight is Alex Pereira versus Izzy.
Which, okay, Alex has only had one.
Doesn't matter.
Fight, right?
It doesn't matter.
I know it doesn't. I know it doesn't. I'm just saying he's only had one fight, right?
Had one fight.
I know this is like a major buildup kind of thing here, because he's basically the only person that's beaten Izzy. But how many years has that been?
Not only beaten him, but knocked him out stiff.
Yeah.
Stiffened him, dude.
Yeah. Okay. I'll buy into the buildup and I'll enjoy it and I'll watch the fight if and when it happens. But there's so many years in between. Both of them are completely different fighters than they were at that time. That to me is like that's a big thing for me.
No, I agree with you 100%. We're not even talking about that. We're talking about the hype machine.
Yeah.
Talking about, dude, if he wins his next fight in spectacular fashion like he did his first one, right? And Izzy just came out on Twitter this last pay-per-view and said, yeah, I never agreed to fight Whitaker. And they asked Dana about it. Dana got all pissed off. He's like, when have we lied about booking fights? He's like, I don't know what Izzy is talking about. So Izzy seems to be bored if I'm just making a guess as to what that meant.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, he's not ignoring the fact that this guy's now in the UFC. This guy is the only person to finish him, knock him out like that. Izzy knows. He's aware. So I think he's expecting it too. Now, would it be too soon if two fights in the UFC, you've won both, to fight for a title? Sure. It would be too soon. But would it be that crazy? Probably not. Wouldn't be that crazy. Dude, show him getting knocked out on a loop, just fucking for 2 months, you know? And I don't like it. I'm an Izzy fan, and it's bad.
Is Alex good at talking shit? Do we know?
No, he's Brazilian. I don't even know if he speaks English.
Oh man.
That
could be tough.
I'm going back to his last fight. I can't remember if he had a translator in there. Maybe he speaks broken English. Either way, it's a fun one. I'm into it, but who knows? And I'm just making stupid hot take predictions at this point. Let's switch to something that really gets you pissed off.
All right.
Let's Spotify. So you had, so it's good to know.
Me.
It's good to know. It's good to know we have listeners. So you told me that someone listened to the last episode and they had comments as to what we were our discussion around buying streams and whatever else.
Correct.
So now let me ask you this before you tell me what these comments were / are. Is this a musician?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, that's all I need to know. Tell me what happened.
Okay, so I'm just going to read.
Are you going to say the person's name and what band they're in?
No.
What the? Are you serious? All right, go ahead.
Okay, so here's what he messaged me. He said, "Here's the thing: directly paying for numbers, likes, listens, and reactions on an algorithm-based system is always a bad idea. Those listens come from bots, and bots don't continue to interact with your content or help the algorithm understand who likes your content. So when you put out your next thing, it sends it right back to those bots, the majority of people who liked your content. And this time they don't interact at all. Then Spotify or Facebook or whatever sees that and goes, okay, this content sucks."
What is that last part? I don't understand what the last part of that means. Okay, Spotify sees that and says this sucks. What does that mean?
Because let's see. So when you put out your next thing, it sends it right back to those bots. So the original bots basically that were, so those listens come from bots, and bots don't continue to interact with your content. That's just the original, I guess, from the original.
I mean,
bot.
That makes sense. I'm with you on all that.
Yeah.
But I'm saying when you release the next thing, he said, Spotify thinks this sucks. What does that mean?
So then Spotify or Facebook or whatever sees that and goes, okay, this content sucks. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't understand what that means. And if that's the case, then you just keep buying more shit, which is what people would do.
So
I understand everything and I agree.
So it's saying this content sucks because when you put out your second thing, it's just going to the bots and not new people. So then Spotify's reading that as it's just going to these bots, and I guess maybe you're not getting any interaction or anything like that. So it's saying that you're not getting anything from it.
But what are the repercussions of that? What does it matter?
I don't know.
No one can explain. Do I know this person?
I don't think you do.
No.
So
rhyme their name and their band's name with something.
You don't know this person. I'm almost I'm almost sure. So, okay. So he also says, I don't think buying any vanity metrics works out except maybe for some extremely short term, but then it's even more negative. Like maybe you can get a decent show out of having a certain number of plays and the venue doesn't check any other metric, but then when no one shows up, they'll be pissed and you're fucked.
I mean, I like what that person just said, but is the venue really looking at your Spotify plays?
I don't know.
Also, yeah,
I'm
but
not.
see, okay, I like
He
that
said vanity.
mindset.
He said vanity metrics in general, so he may not just be
Sure.
talking about Spotify.
Yeah, but what does that have to do with shows? Here's the thing. I let me just say this. I agree with 99% of what that person is saying, but
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to shows, I think there's a different. I think it's different. So here's the thing: if you're a band and you buy streams, so all of a sudden you have 1 million streams on Spotify. Now, what he's saying about the bots, that makes sense. I don't. This is way beyond my education level, my intelligence. I don't know how that shit works, and I'm never going to know. To be honest with you, it pisses me off. I don't want to know. If I
Right.
knew what happened behind the scenes, I'd probably be more upset than I am now, just being an ignorant shithead. So like everything outside of that, I agree with. But let's say you have you bought 1 million streams or whatever on Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
Well, are you really doing that to please potential showgoers in your hometown? Or is he saying, like, if you want to take it out on the road and venues and club owners and booking agents look at your Spotify plays, will they book you because of that? Short
Yeah.
term, yes, I agree with that. Long term, yeah, but what if you go to the show out of town where you're not expected to bring that many people and you do a good job? But I guess the point is if you have 1 million Spotify streams and you go to a city where potentially a large chunk of those happened and you don't bring people, then how does it look? I mean, I get how all of this works, but like,
Hang on. Okay. So breaking that down is interesting to me. So is that something that people look at when they
can we just get
this
this
is tough.
person on the show? We said last time we need to get
This
another
is this is
musician.
gonna sound this is gonna
Let me
sound
ask you this.
like
Let me ask you
coming
this.
from a hey, hang on. This is coming from a complete dummy, okay, when it comes to music. But
Who,
is
me? Thank
that
you. I appreciate
no
that.
me? This is me.
Oh, okay.
Uh is is that how bands choose where they're gonna tour, where they're gonna go sometimes? Based off of like because you just said like if you go to a place where you a lot of the streams come from and do a show there and a lot of people those people don't show up or something like that, do people base like do bands base where they go play off of where they're getting like streams and stuff like that? Is that a thing,
I don't know.
or am I looking too far into this?
No, you're not. I mean, it's a good question. I don't know. I don't tour anymore. So I don't know. My guess would be no. You go where you know you're going to draw based on what you've seen previously. Now that's the way I used to do it. You know,
Yeah.
oh, we can go to the Green Door in Oklahoma because we know last time we were there, 100 people showed up. So we know we can go back.
Okay.
And since the last time we were there, we released this and we did this and we did that. By the way, RIP the Green Door. I don't think it's there anymore. But I don't fucking know. I doubt it. My guess is I doubt it. Does this person tour that said all these things?
I don't think so. More local stuff.
Text me who it is. I have to know.
I'll tell you after the show.
Well,
anyways, so like a big band that's touring across the US, like is there
don't say big bands.
I've
big bands don't fucking care about Spotify. That's what I'm saying to you. Like
that's what that was my point, is that I've never thought about why a band, you know, when I see a band that's coming through St. Louis, I've never worried about why they're hitting the places that they're hitting. Like if there's a reason behind they're going to this state or, you know, anything, or this city in the state, I've never wondered why they're actually doing it. I just thought, well, this is just part of their tour. I never wondered if there was reasons behind why they're hitting certain places.
Oh yeah, for sure. You go places where you do well.
Yeah.
You can test the waters in new markets, new cities, new venues in those cities. But yeah, I mean, typically when you book your tour, you're going to book it at places where you know you're going to draw. Yeah, 100%. And I think I live, you travel to where I live. I live in a city where most times you're not seeing bands come here by chance. They've been here before. They know they can do decent here. That's why they come here. And if it's their first time, they know the promoter does well here.
Okay.
And I mean, we've talked about this on previous episodes. Like, some bigger bands don't come here. They don't like it here. They don't like the promoters. They don't like the clubs. They don't like the fans. They're just a lot. But these are few and far between, but like, it happens. I don't know. I don't know where Spotify fits into all of this, but I get what he's saying. And that's a great way of putting it. Those are vanity streams. But like you said on the last show, if it helps you up front, what harm are you really doing yourself by getting those I love that. It's like vanity muscles, vanity streams, those vanity streams in the beginning. If you can build on them organically, or if you can build on them honestly, using air quotes again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you actually brought up a good point, and it's one that I had thought about, but my stubborn brain doesn't want to like allow me to be like, I think what it is I've had so many people, and it goes back to not just buying streams, but like buying social media. And then before that, it was buying your way on the radio. And then in between there, it was like paying promoters to like put you on shows. I mean, these are all things that have happened in, sort of various levels or various degrees of like, are they known to people, or are they behind the scenes? Are they unknown? They're all kind of the same to me, and I've known people who have done all of them. Most of which aren't still around, aren't still bands, aren't still touring, aren't still on the radio. Like, so I don't know. I mean, I've known bands that have had investors where they've gotten thousands and thousands of dollars from just, not someone who's in the music industry, but just someone who has money. And like, hey, we're going to take your 30,000, might be an arbitrary number, might not be, your 30,000, and we're going to put it to X, Y, and Z, and then we'll get you half of it back in this amount of time or whatever. That happens a lot. I don't know if it still happens. I'm sure it does. But there are a lot of bands who are really great at conducting themselves as businesses. So the potential for that investor to get their money back is pretty strong.
Right. I guess the way he makes it sound is that it's not easy to build on it. Like you're saying, does it hurt you to have those initial streams up front? No, of course it probably doesn't. But it seems like once you try to put out something after that first initial thing, it's not getting out to people. It's getting out to those original bots that you put it out to. So it's not easy to build on it.
Yeah. And I agree with that. And I think, I said a version of that on the last show when I was raising the question, like, well, if you had to buy the streams, what good were you were you really going to, well, it really depends. I mean, look, if you're a band, and I don't have an example in my brain. I'm just saying, if you're a band that buys streams, but knows how to build on the momentum and market yourself on social media and get people to your shows, and then you start gaining that word of mouth momentum that you need, which is still a thing. It's still a thing. Like that, and I think that's why I'm saying, does it really hurt you? I don't think it hurts you at all to do it, but I don't know if it helps you 100% to do it, you know?
Right.
And like I said, this person you're talking about who will remain nameless on our show, I love the term vanity streams or whatever he's saying. I love that. I think it's a perfect way of putting it. You know, it's smoke and mirrors. But
yeah,
you got to fake it till you make it, right? As the wise Gaeta said on season 2 of Dave, you got to fake it until you make it, just like everybody else.
Yeah, you got to throw your money at something, not knowing
how
what's
far are you willing to go?
Yeah.
Will you go as far as Gaeta and borrow $8,000 from your boss to buy a BMW to put in a video that potentially no one's going to see? Are you willing to go that far? If you are, you're going to be like Gaeta and you're going to succeed.
While you're rapping in your closet.
While you're recording music in your closet. Dude, that's grinded, dude. That's inspirational. Seriously. Yeah. That's grinding. Yeah. And again, the people that do that in 2021 that had, and we're talking about a fictional show, but like that had his social media presence and his presence to just like fake it until you make it. They don't have to buy shit. People are going to eventually catch on, you know?
Right. Have you followed Gaeta much? Like as far as music that he's put out?
I bought that Checkup song or whatever.
Right.
The
reason why I asked, I looked on Apple Music and there's not much that he did that one on his own, and he's done a couple of like guest spots on a couple of other tracks. But I'm just wondering, do you think he's like out there doing a lot of stuff right now after Dave? Do you think Dave is going to be a massive booster for him?
The show?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe. But again, we're talking about a fictional show. Do people do the research like you and I did to go, oh, that guy's real?
Right. That's true.
I knew when I started the show that was really his hype man because I've YouTubed Lil Dicky live performances. And there aren't a lot. That's the other thing. Oh, yeah. All this shit they talk about him being on tour and playing show, like you go on YouTube right now and just search Lil Dicky live, you're not going to come up with a lot.
Yeah.
You'll find like his like, you know, TV show appearances. But if we're talking like legitimate, and maybe that's all strategic on his part. Maybe he doesn't want like, and that's smart, to be honest with you, because a lot of his hype and a lot of his momentum and a lot of his popularity is built on the shine, the fucking, you know, like it's not built on he's accessible to everyone, you know, he's not.
Yeah, but
he hasn't been.
If the show is real at all, you know, he kind of in that big argument that they have, you know, he's basically like, you know, I'm out here grinding, I'm doing my thing. So like, he can't want to be, I'm assuming he doesn't want to be Dave's hype man forever.
Well, I'm talking about Lil Dicky. I'm not even talking about Gaeta.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
I think Gaeta will be fine on his own, but if you search Lil Dicky live, so like, and this is how I discovered Gaeta. So if you search Lil Dicky live right now on YouTube, the first thing that will come up is Lil Dicky live at Wuha in 2017. Wuha is a hip hop festival in the Netherlands. It's always the first video that comes up. It's been viewed 2 million times. But as you scroll down, okay, so Lil Dicky on Sway in the Morning, everyone's seen that. That went viral. So this is from 2018. The next one, Lil Dicky at the Breakfast Club, Lil Dicky on Jimmy Kimmel. There are not a lot of like live shows that you're seeing of this dude. So maybe that's strategic. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Something to like think about. And like, maybe he's like me. It was like, I look forward to seeing new shit of him live. Because wasn't he just at Lollapalooza?
Was he?
I thought he was. Let me search that.
While you're searching that, I was curious, did you see or did you listen to Travis Scott being on what's the show with Charlamagne the God?
I can't watch anything with Charlamagne the God. I know it happened, but I'm not going to watch it.
Okay. I was just curious.
I saw after the fact, I saw them talking about it on their podcast, the podcast he does with Andrew Schultz.
Okay.
But I didn't watch it. Tell me about it. Do you know anything about it?
I just heard a small clip about him explaining the whole thing.
Yeah. Well, I saw someone post a video. God, we're back to Astro World. It's amazing how we can't escape It's like whatever we create a 1-minute clip for on TikTok and it gets the most views, we have to return to it. So let's return back to Ask for Woe.
It's not that we have to, it just naturally happens.
So
based
like
off our other topics.
Yeah. So like I saw someone post a video of Jack Harlow, who played during the day, middle of the day, completely light outside, of him stopping his show to be like, hey, security, go pick that person up. But I think it was a dude who was in a wheelchair and crowd surfed. Or like, whatever.
Okay.
So people were like, this is what Travis Scott should have done. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, it's not relevant to what. But I get it. People are going to make those comparisons and it's fine. We've already talked about it. So there's no reason in beating a dead horse. But like, right. No, I didn't see it. So what did Travis Scott say? Did you tell me? I'm sorry. I got sidetracked.
No, he was basically just saying that he didn't know, basically saying he didn't know what was going on. So he said he had inner ears in. He couldn't hear much of anything. He couldn't really see much of anything. It was, he was basically just explaining his side. But have you seen the lawsuits that are going on? There's like 120 of them or something like that going on right now.
Of course. But again, did you watch the documentary on Hulu that I was sending you clips of?
No, I need to. I still haven't done that yet.
The craziest thing that people don't think about is what actually is being seen versus what is being reported after the fact. You have these social media videos going up in real time, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's one pocket of 50,000 people.
Who's putting this documentary out? Because that's very fast to have a documentary out about.
It was on Hulu. I watched most of it. I think I cut it out. I think I got too bummed, to be honest with you.
Here's the reason why I ask is because depending on which view you want to take on the whole thing, you can put out a documentary on both sides, right?
You can make a documentary in 15 minutes about it. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. But you could make one that just shines Travis Scott in a horrible light and make it look like it was all his fault if you wanted to. So that's why I was curious who put out.
Yeah. So most of this documentary was information coming from a lot of the news crews that were there.
Okay.
Who were essentially stating the obvious, where it was like, it got rowdy really early and it was not contained. I go back to the thing. It's like, why is no one holding accountable to people that rushed the stage and trampled people? Now, look, I know there were a large portion of those people who were just running to safety. Mm-hmm. Like they were rushing the stage because they were literally trying to get air. But if you've watched the videos of people breaking down the gates, there were assholes there that would have trampled you regardless of what you were there for, who you were there to see, and regardless of what was going on. So like, we're not holding those people accountable. We're solely focusing on Travis Scott.
The thing for me too, on the outside looking in, is how many people were there. And even if Travis Scott would have seen, the very first person that got hurt and stopped the show, I don't know that it would have fixed anything.
I agree with you 100%.
I don't,
and that's not what anyone else is saying. Imagine if he stops the show. What do people do?
Right. It probably gets worse.
If you're a big enough asshole to trample 20 people to get to the front to see Travis Scott play, and he finally takes the stage and you're fucking amped, you're fucking psyched, you're fucking getting lit, and he goes, oh, no, pick that person up. Oh shit, y'all are too rowdy, I gotta go. What are those 100 people, 1,000 people, 2,000 people, 5,000 people that trampled people just to get to the front? What are they going to do? How are they going to react?
Right.
So it's like, I don't know. I think people that point the finger just at him are just lazy. And I just think they don't fucking want to look at the big picture. And I know I've already said that, and I don't want to be a broken record, but they're just not looking at the big picture. And they're not looking at other examples of music festivals and other examples of when things go horribly wrong in big crowds, not at music festivals, just in big crowds. But
right.
Whatever. Fuck them. I kind of want to watch that now that he brought it up. I just cannot stand Charlemagne. And I have a feeling all of his questions were condescending and backhanded, and I just can't stand that guy. Did he talk down to him?
Like I said, I
Or did he
just
treat him
listened.
like an equal? Like, I don't know, you're an actual person who matters.
I don't even think I heard what. Or I don't think that I heard Charlamagne the God talk. I think it was just a clip of Travis Scott giving a small small synopsis of the situation, and that it wasn't, he didn't know anything was going on until last minute. So
Right. I mean, dude, either way, it's a tragedy. We've already said this. It sucks.
yeah.
But so what do you think? What do you think? So you sent me the article and I already knew about it. So what do you think about comedians and their beef with Spotify?
Okay, so do you know the whole situation that's going on with this? How like artists and the writers of their music, I guess, get paid from Spotify. And comedians are saying that they are the writers and the performers.
Correct.
So they should be getting more money for what they put out, which makes sense to me.
They only get paid as performers. They don't get paid as writers. You know, if you have, for instance, a Beyonce song, which has 28 writers, all of those people get a portion of that great payment that Spotify gives to artists. You know, so if you're listed as a writer, and you know, I'm talking shit, but Beyonce really does have like 30 writers per song. But like, you know, my most recent stuff that I've released as a solo artist, I'm not the only writer listed. You know?
Oh, really? Okay.
No, because there were other people in the room who helped produce that music and helped add to the music. It's not a lot. It's on the 3 songs that I've released as a solo artist. It's 3 people, and 2 people.
Okay.
You know, but yeah. So comedians are like, well, look, I write my shit and I perform it. I should get paid for both. And Spotify was like, well, that's really neat. Guess what? We're just going to take all of your shit off Spotify.
Right.
Which is, I mean, is there a bigger gangster move you can pull if you're a streaming service? Oh, you don't like that, do you? Hey, guess what? Your fans have to go somewhere else.
I mean, it sucks for the comedians, but I guess Spotify has the right to do it if they want. It's their platform.
Well, they can do whatever they want, but it's still bullshit.
It's shitty. But you know what's interesting is, have you noticed a lot of comedians are just putting out specials on YouTube now?
Oh yeah.
Doesn't that makes a lot of sense? Because you just monetize your channel.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying you're making the same amount of money, but you can still make a good chunk of money off of it if you have a lot of subscribers.
You could.
And get a lot of views.
You definitely could, but you don't get to monetize. You don't get paid if you curse, though.
Oh, is that a thing?
I thought so.
Really?
I thought so.
Huh.
That's a good Google right there.
That
Does
seems
YouTube
odd.
pay on monetized channel
Or cursing
with profanity?
Weird.
I've heard many people say no. In addition to expanded allowances for profanity, YouTube will let content creators monetize videos about recreational drugs and drug-related content, documentary or news content that may include violent interactions with law enforcement and controversial issues where non-graphic. I'm bored of that already, so we're just going to go with, yeah, if you curse, you can get, I don't know. I'm bored of that. That's so boring to me. And I don't care. I'm going to curse whether you pay me or not. I'm going to say how I really feel about something. I'm not going to censor myself. So if you don't want to pay me, don't pay me.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, like you said, it is kind of a gangster move by Spotify, but it's dumb. Let me ask you this though. Did you see, and this may not bother you at all, how do you feel about when a person puts out a record or a band puts out a record or whatever, like listening to that record in the sequence of from front to back? Do you think that most bands or solo artists, when they put out a record, they put it in a certain order for a certain reason?
Maybe. Why are you asking this? I feel like there's a reason.
Because apparently it's a pretty big deal. Adele went to Spotify and
Yeah,
complained
yeah,
because the default was shuffle on
yeah.
people's
She had him
record.
remove shuffle.
Yeah, so it starts at the
Hey,
beginning.
Adele, fucking deal with it. You fucking selfish asshole. Deal with it.
Why is she selfish?
Because fuck that. Why is she special?
I don't know. I mean, why is that not? I don't know. I feel like it helps other bands and other artists.
What?
Does it not?
Because other artists can go, I don't want you to shuffle my shit.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I feel like shuffling lets you move on to the next thing a lot faster than if you start from start to finish. But then again, I guess in the long run, you're going to choose to listen after you listen to that first time. You're going to choose to listen to what you want to,
See, this is what I'm talking about,
what
where I don't
songs you
know how to
want
use
to.
Spotify. So you look up an Adele song from the newest record and it's on shuffle. So does
Mhm.
shuffle take you to the next song on Adele's record, or does it take you to another artist? So she's removed the ability to take you to another artist or just another song on a record, and a
I think it's
record goes in order.
from what I understand, it's just another song on the record. So the default is shuffle. So instead of starting at song one, you're starting at episode or song 4.
But what I'm
You know?
asking is does Spotify work in a way where if you play a song from Adele,
Right.
it shuffles you to another artist like Adele?
I don't know.
Jesus
You
Christ.
literally know more about Spotify than I do.
No, I
So-
don't. No, I
Yes,
clearly
you
don't.
do. That's the
Can we get
point.
your friend on, this person on here who has all these opinions about Spotify? They can explain it to me. So like YouTube Music is a streaming service that I do use because I watch the videos. So if I look up an Adele video on YouTube Music, it's going to shuffle to another artist's music video like Adele. I'm wondering if Spotify does that, which I thought it did. I thought it just played music like the last thing you listened to.
So what you're saying is, okay, I put in Adele and I put in that record. That's what I want to listen to, and it plays track 1. But then instead of going to another track on that album, it goes to a completely different artist.
I don't
Because
fucking know, man. I don't know.
it's
I don't know how
artist,
it works. I don't know how Spotify works. That's why I don't use it. I think it's tedious. I don't like it.
It does
And
seem
fuck
really
'em.
tedious. Why is Spotify the only one under fire though? I mean,
'Cause
I
it's the most
understand.
popular. I've never had anyone go, "Hey, are you on Apple Music? Hey, are you on Tidal? Hey, are you on YouTube Music? Hey, is your music on Deezer?" No one's ever said that to me. Many people have been like, "Hey, you on Spotify?" Yes, motherfucker.
Yeah, it makes sense. I guess maybe it's just under fire because it's the hot one. I guess.
Ugh.
I just mean that is that you're saying that you hate Spotify, but I mean, in general, you probably hate most streaming services, if
I
not
don't
all
hate
of them,
anyone or anything, man.
because
My
they're
heart is
not.
full of love, and I want everyone to do well.
Because no matter if other streaming services are paying artists more than what Spotify is, they're still not paying what you think they deserve.
No, it's ridiculous.
So, but that's what I'm saying is why is only one of them under fire? And it's
because
got to
they're
because
the one. They're the one, dude.
Yeah.
They gave Joe Rogan's knuckle dragon ass $200 million. They're obviously
Yeah.
the one.
They did. Hey, speaking of that, did you see the Pat McAfee deal? I'm pretty sure we talked about it a little bit.
Yeah.
That he signed with FanDuel. How does that work? Is that just an endorsement?
Yeah. Yeah. FanDuel was like a sponsor, I guess, in the beginning. Yeah. So they're just it's an interesting thing. It's not like the Spotify thing where like FanDuel, like Spotify with Joe Rogan, where like FanDuel is going to loosely control his content. No, they're just a sponsor. They just gave him a lot of sponsorship money. Which is, I mean, that's kind of like the first, I mean, that's crazy. Crazy.
I kind of like that.
Yeah, it's great.
If that's the choice, it's just like, here's money. Not
well, he's been on his own for a long time, and he started doing this like he was started on Barstool, but he left Barstool on good terms because he wanted to just be in Indianapolis. He wanted to be on his own. He wanted to do his own thing. I mean, it's worked well for him. They're one of those cigar smoking shows that I don't like, but I mean, good for them.
If you have the right people and you know what you're doing, it's easier than ever to have a radio show now, or to have a podcast that makes you a shitload of money.
Really?
And it really doesn't take that many people to do it.
You got some paychecks I don't know about, or what's going on?
No, I don't, but I'm saying like it's very easy to do a YouTube live video. And if you are somebody that people knows and that people want to listen to, all you need is a good video camera and a few of the right people in the right places, and it wouldn't be hard. It's not hard to do.
So what you're saying is you and I should have been NFL punters who then started working for the biggest sports media company on earth.
Yeah, that
then
sounds
we'd
about
be
right.
okay.
Yeah,
man, if only I could go back in time and start punting footballs.
Oh, you can. You're not too old yet.
I could punt the shit out of a football.
Can you?
I kicked a 30-yarder in high school in practice.
I see a torn MCL the very first kick.
Bad news. I would have to do the rugby style shit that the guys in college do. There's no way I'd be able to stand stationary, and yeah, I'd fucking tear everything. Like my hip would just be
your leg
blown apart. Yeah, it would be blown apart.
You'd end up looking like your son.
Yeah.
Chip your tooth somehow on turf.
Black eye, just busted forehead. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I mean, it goes to show you, man, build your own thing, and if you do it well, it pays off in the end. I think that's the most generic lesson to learn from him. He's got a lot of people that follow him. I mean, he is an entertaining guy. I don't want to sound like I'm talking shit.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying that. Like, you still have to be good at the craft. Like, you still have to be able to talk and be interesting in what you're saying. You can't just be,
He's pretty good. Have you ever seen the video from his show where he had the wrestler in that like freaked out and like started trashing stuff in the studio and threatened to kick his ass? Is Cody Rhodes a real person? Am I making that name up?
He is a wrestler. That's true.
Is he a little guy?
I mean, I wouldn't say little. I don't know what you mean by little.
No, that's not him. He's a smaller guy. Adam. Fuck me. Hang on. Let me go to. Hold on.
How did you go from Cody to Adam?
I don't know. I'm just naming. I know nothing about wrestling. Pat McAfee, wrestler. Adam Cole.
Oh, okay.
Did I say Adam?
You did the second time, yes.
Okay, yeah. Adam Cole. That's him.
Okay. So he got mad at Pat McAfee?
Yeah, he had him on. But here's the thing. Here's why I'm saying Pat McAfee's good at what he does. It's really hard to tell whether that was staged or whether that was real. Okay. And then if you don't know, Pat McAfee would go to NXT events and he like punted this guy's face.
Nice.
Anyway, this is way nerdier than I ever wanted to be on our podcast. Thanks to YouTube. But yeah, just it's actually really interesting to watch because again, you don't know, is this real or is this fake? Is this staged? So that's what I'm saying. He's good at what he does. How many YouTube subscribers does this have? 1.58 million.
That's Pat McAfee show.
Yeah.
I mean, that's decent, right?
It's pretty goddamn good.
He should probably think about monetizing. Might help him.
I'm sure he's doing just fine. Anyway, I smell poop behind me.
That's amazing.
So I'm gonna have to go.
Okay. As long as it's not yours, I guess we're okay.
Say it again.
So as long as it's not yours, I guess we're okay.
It is. Well, it could be mine. You never know. But hey, are we going to get this person that has all these opinions about Spotify on the show?
I will reach out to him and see if he's interested.
Just rhyme the band's name with something.
I will let you know after the show.
Is it?
Because I don't know if he wants me to mention his name or not. That's why I'm not.
That's what I'm saying. Rhyme it. Do it in Pig Latin. I'll know it. No one else will know it.
I will let you know after the show.
Jesus Christ. All right.
Let's go back and get some action.